Praise the Lord, saints. We are back again. Happily ever after, right?
Yes, happily ever after.
Yeah, and so we did our first video, and many of you sent in comments, and I'm gonna read some of the comments. They're great comments. You've got questions about blended families. You've got financial questions, in-law questions, infidelity questions. Whoa.
Right.
Yeah. So many questions about in-laws. We've had sexual questions, and then just like get along questions like date night and stuff like that. And so we've got lots of questions, and I'm just really, really excited about this time.
Right. So our first segment will deal with the financial aspect. So we want to stay true to form. So we'll answer your questions from there. Now, Hebrews 13:4 is the thing that's like our launching pad, if you will. Marriage is honorable in all, and the bed undefiled. But the A portion of it is the thing that's significant for us.
Right.
Marriage is honorable. So every aspect of marriage should have honor in it. Even the difficult times should have honor in it. The ups should not be the only time where honor is there, but the downs as well. The trying times, the tough times, the turbulent times, the oh my God, I can't believe it, like a tornado time, still requires honor. So there's certain things you should never do, certain things you should never be a part of, certain things should never be associated with you, with your marriage, even though you're going through a tough season. Now, God ordained marriage, and it is irresponsible, it is unwise for us to approach marriage, to grab marriage, to be a part of marriage, and we don't have His wisdom, His perspective, His direction on marriage. So, happily ever after. We're Jacksonville's favorite couple.
Yes.
Dr. Teresa White, I'm Dr. James White. This is my absolute best friend, and just while she was talking, I was just getting all caught up, playing with her little thing, and then wanted to give us some sugar, you understand? So our relationship, what you say now? Our relationship is a product of the decisions that we've made in the past. Our current decisions will affect our future. So the decisions we're making today, they have an immediate impact, but they show up much more in the future. So we want to help you to ensure that your future is everything that you've destined and ordained. So the first question, you want to jump right into that?
Yeah, I just wanted to say something before we start actually answering the question.
Okay. Oh, thank you.
So the thing that I want to set this foundation, and the baseline for our relationship is everything that we do is Father filtered.
Right.
So our relationship is Father filtered, and so when you have the right filter, everything works out just fine. And the things that don't need to go along with you, they stay shelved and separated from your relationship, which makes the relationship so amazing. So that's why we can answer the questions that we have. We can answer these questions because we like I said, everything that we've done, our relationship, it's Father filtered in who we are, and what we do it with the help of the Father. So first question.
So now, in-law support. When your in-law needs money or housing, are they family or in-laws? Okay, so now our perspective on in-laws should never be mistaken with outlaws.
That's right.
So an outlaw, of course, is somebody that you have a problem with. Somebody, the officer. So borrowing from an earlier time in our history, an outlaw was a person who was on the run. An outlaw was a person who had committed a crime, done something irresponsible, and the police are looking for them.
Right.
So once we combine our lives, individual lives, we're bringing our families together.
Right.
So her siblings, her parents should not be estranged to me.
Right.
My siblings, my parents should not be estranged to her. So we don't bring two, competing entities together. We come together as one. And now I have more siblings because of her siblings. She has more siblings because of mine. I have more parental insight, wisdom, perspective, love, all that guidance, everything because of her parents. And likewise, she the same because of mine.
Right.
So it shouldn't be, a fight there. So now that part is settled, but now this does take work. Just because there's an issue there I'll use, if I have a problem with her parents, I shouldn't treat that like it's an alien, because I'm sure I had problems with my parents. And, now with it being transparent, I did. Because I was a trip. I had a lot of problems. I had a lot of issues. being developed, oftentimes you don't like it. It's like a personal trainer. They'll push you and you're not excited about it. You enjoy the result.
Right.
But Jesus, if they could just lift the weight themselves and stop telling you, push, you got one more in you. Okay, right. The results are accurate. Their coaching is accurate.
Right.
But oftentimes we don't like the journey that they'll take us on.
Right.
And because her mom or her dad did something I didn't like, I'll treat it as though my parents have always done everything that I've enjoyed every decision they've made. Everything that they said to me has been spot on. But when her mom says something, oh my God, no, that's not true at all. So when it's approached from the right perspective, right foundation, you can make tremendous strides. So now with that part settled and established, you have to have parameters when you deal with money, with everybody.
Right.
So whether it's your children, your in-laws, whether it's your siblings, it doesn't matter. And it's something that the two of you have to agree on before a need arises.
Right.
So before your mom needs her light bill paid, y'all need to decide how much money are you going to utilize to assist other family members.
Right.
And can one family member exhaust it all? So for example, if you set aside $200 for that year that you can lend to other people, what are the parameters to determine if they can get it?
Right.
And how much of it can one person get? So if one person shows up with a $500 need, do you give the $200 knowing that there's still $300 down?
Right.
And what needs do you support? That's something that you settle ahead of time. Otherwise, you put yourself in a tight spot where this situation was important. Well, my mama always been there for us, so we gonna help my mama out. Okay, wait, chill out with that. Maybe she had more time. Maybe the relationship hadn't been as strained because it wasn't treated as an outside entity. There can be a variety of reasons for that.
Right.
So you don't allow those things to come in and influence your decision. You make a decision independent of a person's need, independent of a particular situation, and you stand by and reinforce it. And you have written guidelines that can keep the two of you on track. You write it down, you spend some time, talk to the Lord, pray about it. Don't be hasty, just jump into it. Well, this is what we gonna do, that's in that, because if my mama ever, stop it. Stick with the guidelines, stick with what's written down. And earlier, Dr. Teresa said, our lives, our marriage is father filtered. So where is the honor in us falling out behind loaning somebody else money or giving somebody else money?
Right.
There's no honor in that.
Right. And so I think there's something that you said, but I just want it to be very, very clear. Mm-hmm. This kind of decision should not be made on the fly. You have to prepare for these kinds of decisions. So you have to sit down and have this stuff mapped out before it arises, because success does not just happen, it must be planned.
Right.
And so you have to plan out how things are going to enter into your relationship, including situations with money, with not just your family, but other people as well.
Right.
So once you have that mapped out, then what you can do, because we always have these kind of little challenges when we deal with family members, and there's this controversy and we don't want people to be mad at us, and I don't want nobody to be mad at my husband, and so we have those things. But when we have it mapped out, your compass is the guidelines that you've already established. So that way, when a family member comes to you and asks, if it's an in-law or what have you, when they come and ask those questions, then your response is simply this: we've already determined how that would happen. And here is what we have decided. It's we, not me, not he or she. It's we.
Very good.
So it has to be a we decision, because one of the things that we determined is I'm never gonna put my husband in a position where he has to fight with my people. Why? I love my people and I love him. I shouldn't have to choose. Right. And at the end of the day, I chose him. I didn't choose them. I couldn't help it. It is what it is. Right. So I'm gonna love my family, and I'm gonna love my husband, and I'm gonna work to bridge the gap so that everybody gets along. It is my responsibility to ensure that he can have a great relationship with my family, and likewise for him. It's his responsibility to make sure that I can have a great relationship with his family. And those things have to be mapped out, especially when it comes to finances.
Right. So that's all we have for this segment of Happily Ever
Ever
After.
After.
So do us a favor, share the video, tell your friends, your family members about it. In the comments section, if you have any questions or subjects that you'd like us to cover in some of our future videos, put it in there.
Yeah.
As detailed or as vague, it really doesn't matter, and we'll dive into it. I'm excited about this opportunity. The Spirit of the Lord has given us an anointing. He's blessed us in this area,
Right.
and we just want to share it with you and help you build a strong marriage and be happily
Ever after. And so I'm going to try to do this with most of the videos we do for those who want to know why we qualify, because I know we look so young.
Right,
yes.
right.
So for those who want to know why we qualify, we've been married for more than 27 years.
Boom.
Yes, and truth be told, there was a time in our relationship early out where we were actually trying to kill each other. We had a nice amount of insurance money set aside, and we were secretly trying to kill each other. And so once the Lord rescued our marriage, then we actually shared with each other the schemes and the diabolical plans that we had for each other. And so I believe that qualifies us to help you live happily ever after. We'll see you the next time.